I'm just gonna get this discussion going, and maybe y'all can help me like do some stuff narrative wise. But basically, we're gonna do what if Naruto and Minato was alive? All right. So how this is gonna happen is instead of both of them being sacrificed and all that good jazz, Minato's wife, he's a real female, and she's like, yeah, I'm gonna take all of the Chishikiriki. I want you to be around for Naruto's development, life, growing up, blah blah blah. Right? Kakashi, like most of the stuff happens, right? Except Minato dying. He doesn't die, and he also fight with Obito. I know this story has a lot of intricate points and plot that could be made, so I won't have a problem like reconning it in the future. But I'm just gonna do it as the best that I can. Okay. Now, this is going to be very hard because I'm towing the line that I'm unsure with. So this is how I'm going to play it for right now. Naruto, no, not Naruto's not even involved yet, right? Minato is a real nigga. So we're going to say after all of this happens, everyone recovers and stuff. Now they got to think because one, they're in war. They're in a wartime period as far as I'm concerned. The Uchiha, I don't know if they were planning to do the coup d'etat just yet or if it was later on. But with Minato being, a real nigga and being smart with it, I'm going to say that he eventually would decide to make Fugaku the, head, a Hokage to, calm down the, anger of the Uchiha clan. So that happens. On top of all of this, Minato did realize that, the person who was fighting had some weird, ability. And with this weird ability, he was able to phase and warp, blah, blah, blah. And they don't know what to do. So with this, they're going to spend, a good chunk of time trying to figure out what they're going to do. Also, on a, fun fact, a while back, I did watch Naruto explained about this, but I couldn't really get my head around the full concept. So I'm using some of the base premises, but I do want y'all to help me out with this so we can get these videos looking heat. Anyways, so what I'm going to say happens is Kakashi Minato asked Kakashi, like, hey, do you know anything about this? While also asking Fugaku, like, hey, do y'all know anything about this? Blah, blah, blah. Like, do any of y'all, because I do know people with the Mangekyo have special abilities. Do y'all know anyone that might have this ability? Fugaku and some of his advisors, I guess, would kind of be, feeling some type of way, like, hey, what you trying to say? You trying to say we did it? He's like, no, not exactly. It's just the Nine-Tailed Fox had a Sharingan. This needs to be, kept on the DL, like no one needs to know about it. In personal, I think Danzo would be like trying to listen in or trying to do something, but I don't know how much of an impact he had fully on the story. But we'll worry about him momentarily. I'm just trying to get this video out there so y'all can help me out here. So what I think would happen is Minato would be talking and stuff like that and be like, okay, Kakashi, have you opened your Mangekyo by any chance? And we do know later on that he technically did get it later. So what they're going to do is they're going to try to get, Kakashi to train and see if he can unlock his Mangekyo to see if that might help. The reason is because Minato's not going to tell everyone everything, but what he thinks it's, Obi. But the reason he thinks it's Obi is because of the way he was fighting. And on top of the simple fact that he only had, I think he had one eye, and he could have sworn it was a Sharingan, but he was a little tired, all right? It was late at night, just carry, he had to deflect he had to reflect the Tail Beast Bomb. God damn, English. He had to do that. That take a lot of energy. It's a little dark outside. The dude was wearing a hoodie and a mask. I don't know, but I swear to God, during that fight, I heard Sensei or Minato, or let's say Obito had a special nickname or something, something like that. So with this being said, your boy Minato kind of gonna put 3 and 7 together. But he not gonna tell Kakashi or none of them that. He's just like, yeah. Then Fugaku's, a little reluctant. Like, I don't want to train this outsider. But, he's like, hey, listen. Look, we're doing this for the better of the village, blah, blah, blah. And I didn't get to tell you yet, but I have a new Hokage candidate that, I've been putting in the works in the making. And Fugaku's, who is that? And he's like, look in the mirror. And he's like, I don't know what they call Hokages, but I guess the 4th. Are you serious? He's like, yes, yes, listen. I know y'all feel like y'all been ostracized, in the outside of the village due to how the second treated y'all and how, there was minimum action taken during, during the third's reign and all. So what we're gonna do here to compensate for all of this is very simple. I want you to, work with me, and we'll get you to become the Hokage. This, and that, right? And Fugaku's like, wait, I'm confused. Like, why though exactly? Because it's simple. The Uchihas have the capability of Mangekyo and have all these unique abilities. It would be a shame to have them turn against us. And he's like, so what? And then one of the advisors piping up, so you're afraid of our power? No, not exactly. And Minato throws a kunai over there and then like appears right behind the advisor. He's like, no, not exactly. If I needed to, I've taken out armies of multiple people. Even if you tried to do a surprise attack and there was heavy casualty, I don't think I would lose. And this is just, Minato showing like his backbone, like I'm a real nigga. Like, don't fuck with me, all right? But using brute force all the time will not solve all the issues. And due to how the previous Hokages have reigned and ruled, it's been prevalent that if you don't, I don't know what he would say here, but it'd probably be something along the lines like, you got to be real smart. You got to be real cautious with things you do. You can't just brute force it and force things to work. Everyone has feelings. And as a Hokage, I have to acknowledge all these feelings and take them in as they're my own. Hell, Fugaku, last time I checked, my son and your son's around the same age, if I remember correctly. And Fukaku's like, yeah, all right, perfect. We'll see, we're already practically family. They'll hang out or something to that effect. Like he's being real friendly, real kosher with it. So I'm not going to say time skip, but a brief time has passed. And we would have it to where, Kakashi eventually learned how to, you activate his Mangekyo, but he can only do so many things. And then he shows Minato. And Minato, I'm going to say he doesn't, he explains what it does, but like, or what the ability was, but like, it would work. Kakashi, Mangekyo is going to work the same. Minato went into detail of how, the mask figure shit worked, right? And then, Kakashi's like, it's something similar, but I don't think it works, blah, blah, blah. And he's like, okay. And so now they're just brainstorming and trying to think about, what to do from here. And this is where I would get conflicted, right? Because I wouldn't know how to inherently keep it going. Because what I would think happened is, I think it would go or play out in such the sense as most of the village would stay safe, while Minato and, a handful of other people, Kakashi, they would try to go out, and during this mission, they would be trying to find the location of this masked figure. And everyone's like, conflicted, like, why is he going out of his way to do this? Why is he going out of his way to do this? And then Minato talked to Kakashi, and Kakashi's like, yes, Sensei? And he's like, it's Obito. Kakashi's like, okay, that's not funny. He's like, I'm not laughing. I'm serious. The reason I think this is because when we was fighting, I first thought it was just my head. I just thought it was me being dizzy or, something. I blew it off. But as I think about it, the way he was fighting, the way he was moving, hell, even the way he was briefly talking when he did, it sounds like Obito. And he swears he was, kind of complex. Like, he could have sworn he heard that, you're just going to let me die, huh? And then he was like, but during the fight, Minato was like, if you're trying to say something, speak up. Nothing. So they would probably try to go to an area. And this would be very interesting because this would be before, the the Gakatis, before they are, present into the story. So I don't know where I would go with that. But as far as I'm concerned, unless I'm missing some major plot points that you'll want to tell me, well, you would probably have it to where they're like, going, around and just looking at different areas and trying to find a certain reading. And since, I don't know if this is true, but since Obito was able to control the the Chichuriki for a really long time, we're just gonna say that it's been reports of a Chichuriki acting weird, acting funny, and that's where they would end up, and they would have to, kind of be stealthy with it. And with Minato's abilities, I don't think being stealthy would be too heavy of a burden. But I digress. Thank y'all for watching all the way into the end. If y'all want to see some of this gameplay left, go check Boss DK Twitch. I'll catch y'all on people later.